a group of common people lock arms and, you know, love each other and work together towards a common objective, miracles can happen, you know, and I'm excited for that to spill over into the community.
Yeah, that's, you know, you mentioned, and this is kind of a stretch connection, but I think after maybe round 2, there's a video that circulated where you were addressing the team after the game, and you know, you said, we've got the most powerful thing in the world, and that's love.
Yeah.
And like, that gives me chills, even now, just thinking about it, not even watching it. But the love that I've seen from the side, because obviously, you know, once y'all started winning and I hadn't been to a game, and I'm superstitious, so I'm not going to start going now that y'all are winning. And me and Greg Morris had a conversation about that, about touchdown. He was like, man, you need to come. And I was like, no, I haven't been to one yet. I'm not starting, because if I show up, it's not going to be good, and then I'm going to blame myself.
Yeah.
But to see the love that the coaching staff and the community's poured out for the boys, and I mean, that's been surreal to me. Yeah. And I don't even know the full, you know, the full story on it, but to see certain people, you know, with the meals, and to see the things that y'all are saying, to see the things that the community's chipping in to do, you know, whether that be to get buses or to get meals for the bus ride up to somewhere, you know, that was cool to me, because in my high school career, we didn't get that, you know. And I don't know if it was a community-based thing or what, but it did kind of feel like the community was, you know, oh, it's just Central football. You know, nobody was really excited. This year, you go into Walmart and you just listen, and 5 or 6 people are talking about, you know, oh man, you know, them high school boys. You know, it's.
Well, look, man, the community was on fire, and the truth is, and I said this on the front end, it is going to take all of us to build this thing like we need to build it, you know. And, you know, part of the, you know, deal is, you know, we need everybody giving their time, talent, and treasure to try and make the best product that we can to elevate all these kids' athletic experience, you know. And when you speak of the love, you know, like, to me, that's kind of the vehicle and the fuel that we use to just make sure that this thing went where it went. You know, it wasn't on talent, it wasn't on, you know, years of a program building or whatever it may be. It was just a special group of human beings, you know, and it starts with the coaches, you know, and we try and hire guys that are kids first, that are godly role models, and that, you know, are going to work their butt off and love the sport that they're coaching, you know. And that's in every arena, you know. You look at wrestling, you know, we just hired Herb Juneau as our head wrestling coach, and, you know, he is just a phenomenal human being. He was probably here when you were in high school.
Yeah, Coach Juneau was here when I was here.
So we were able to get him back, you know, and all of a sudden our wrestling program has gone from like 14 kids to like 34 kids, you know, and, you know, you can just tell he's developing these deep connections and bonds with the kids, and, you know, I just know that thing is just going to continue to grow because of the type of leadership that's in there and what he's all about.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then the Faith and Fathers thing that y'all have been doing in this room behind us at, it's 5:30. 5:30.
It's early.
You know, y'all have it's Faith and Fathers, but I assume, you know, I'm not a father, and I come. And the premise, if you want to just explain the premise and the idea behind that, because I can do it, but probably not as eloquently as you can.
No, man, I mean, my whole idea behind that was, you know, it was kind of put on my heart to use my platform as a football coach, as an athletic director, not just to impact kids' lives, but to impact the men that are impacting the kids' lives, you know. And, you know, I believe that manhood and fathers and men in this community are the strength of the community, you know. And like, so the whole goal was to get everybody together and just to kind of, before we ever talked about X's and O's or anything like that, that we spent some time just making sure that our foundation was in our faith, you know, in Jesus Christ. And you know, to see the outpouring of men that have come out there and understand that, like, all right, look, this is the foundation, this is the bedrock of who we are and what we stand for, you know. And if God's not for us, you know, we don't have a chance.
Right.
So, you know, Proverbs 27:17 says, as iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. And that's what I want. I want to be able to bring great men of this community together. We have some just tremendous human beings in this community that I've loved rubbing elbows with. So the goal is to bring all those men together and to, pray over our kids and just be able to sharpen one another's iron as we try and grow this program into something that's going to be truly great and impact kids' lives.
Right, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
I here recently, I'm not necessarily an early bird, but I do make it a point. I get up, I set the alarms. I'm one of the multiple alarm people, and so be here for 5:30. I'm setting an alarm for 5, 5:05, 5:10, 5:15.
There you go.
And I'm probably getting out of bed at 5:15. And thankfully, I live, 4 minutes down the road, so I'm getting dressed and running. But it's worth losing a little sleep over.
Sure.
And unfortunately, I think there's a lot of people who don't know about it, because I'll send it to people and they'll be like, "Oh man, that's really cool."
Right.
And so I think as it grows, it'll be really cool to see, because I think the first meeting probably had 25-ish people, and I think the most recent one y'all did probably had 35, 40 people.
Yeah.
And so it's steady growing, and it's really cool to see new faces that I know, or to see people interact with people, and that's a really cool part of the thing, and it brings a community sense to it.
Sure.
And
that's something that's been fun for me too, is just seeing the two men that may not have connected if it wasn't for this event, get to know each other, and be able to develop those relationships and network with each other. It's been cool.
And I think quite frankly, I think that would have been, that's us. I met you for the first time out of Faith and Father.
Absolutely.
And because I'm not as hands-on at the high school right now. And so meeting you at Faith and Fathers led to some discussions, led to ultimately sitting down with you and doing this and talking about what y'all have going on. So it's all, like you say, it's that foundation, and then it builds up, and eventually you do things that you might not think.
And just to clarify, you're not a father, and you don't have to be a father to come to Faith and Fathers. We just welcome any man in the community to come and fellowship and network.
So with the community, if you had to give the supporters in our community, the fan base, one message for this upcoming season, or addressing, I guess you could do both, address this past season and move forward into the next season, what would your message be?
Yeah. Look, we're proud of what we accomplished, but yesterday's yesterday.
Yep.
So I'm a little bit worried we had too good of a year, because these quarterfinal runs just don't happen every single year. But man, I'm excited about our future. So the deal is just our kids have got to be ready to outwork yesterday, and I'm hungrier than ever just because of what we were able to display and how close we were, and just how tough that last loss was, and particularly, not getting the 2-point conversion and some of the things that didn't go our way in that game. It just gave you this you just got blood in your mouth. It's like you sparred too hard, and you got blood in your mouth, and you can't wait to get back in that ring and get another crack at it. So I think our kids that are coming back are hungry for that too. We're hard at work already in the weight room and planning and building for the next season, and we're just excited to continue to elevate this, and maybe we'll get an opportunity a little bit later to talk about some of the building advancements, some of the things that we're breaking ground on January 2nd that I'm really excited about.
Yeah. So we, are you talking about the weight room?
Yeah.
So Dr. Fountain actually told me about it, and he was kind of like, you're going to have to talk to So I remember when the weight room got a facelift.
Yeah.
I think it was my senior year of high school, right before my senior season. They put the turf down. They redid the racks with the new,
inlays, platforms.
Yeah, the inlays, platforms. That shows how long it's been since I've been in the weight room. But what's the plan with the weight room? If y'all.
The biggest thing was to be able to double our maximal, our lifting functional capacity of student athletes in there at one time. If the baseball team is in there with their 60 guys and the girls soccer program wanted to lift at the same time, we couldn't do it, And with the addition of a full-time strength and conditioning coach and Coach DeStasio, you know, we're trying to pack out every hour of the school day with a team in there, whether it be track, wrestling, football, baseball, basketball. We want somebody lifting weights at all times during the school day. But during those times when there are more people in there, we wanted to make sure that we could lift 2 teams at once. So we'll go from 16 racks to 24 racks in this new setup. We'll have one side of the weight room will be all glassed in. We'll have state-of-the-art hammer strength, top of the line racks. We'll be like a premier showcase in the Southeast, a regional showcase center for hammer strength. We'll have a dedicated plaque and all that type of stuff to us. You know, it'll be a place that still has a nice turf area in it. We'll have a fueling station in there that has blenders, microwaves, refrigerators, ice machines, roll-up concession stand doors and all that type of stuff. You know, and on top of just how much, you know, how nice it would be from a functionality standpoint, it's going to be, you know, just beautiful too, man. I mean, you know, looking out from the softball field and the practice football field, you know, you'll be able to look into that glass building and just, you know, be able to see, you know, all the nice stuff in there. And we're also working on some really nice technology that can really take our student athletes to the next level. So we're gonna have to hold off on letting you guys know about that. But
well, I'll have to come back when it finishes. And we'll revisit it.
Yeah, we need to do like an MTV Cribs where we walk through there and kind of you know, show it all off.
Yeah. So you know, we actually had the fueling station when I was here.
Okay.
And I say that loosely. So we would get the extra chocolate milk from the cafeteria, and there was loaves of breads, peanut butter, and jelly.
Okay.
And jelly wasn't in a fridge; it was just out on the counter. And so after workouts, like I think it was big in the morning workouts, like especially over the summer. We'd go in to the equipment room actually, and they would have like the bread, the milk, all that stuff out, and that was our fueling station. And that's, you know, it makes me laugh when I look back at it. Because it's like we were so excited and like we didn't realize in the scheme of things how funny it was, but it was all in the right intention. But it was just funny the way that
stuff's good, man. And I mean, we still got that going on in our locker room and all that type of stuff. And I mean, that's highly successful, you know, plan. We're gonna dress it up a little bit, make it a little more efficient.
Yeah, I had peanut butter, bread, and jelly in the top of my locker.
Okay.
I think at least for all of my senior year, and between classes, I'd run and go get a peanut butter and jelly because I was trying to gain weight.
Bulk it up, man.
I was trying, and you know, I graduated high school. I think I weighed 180 pounds. So like I couldn't put any weight on.
Right.
And then I graduated high school and hit like 220, and I was looking good, and then now I'm, you know, we're not going to talk about it, but it's funny to me how the shift in life where you're trying to gain weight, can't gain weight, you're not trying to gain weight, and all of a sudden you're like, man, you know, I'm kind of bulked up here right now. But that's really cool. I mean, I will, if you'll have me back, I'd love to be back and take a look at the facilities once they're done, and we can do an MTV Crib type style walkthrough. That'd be cool. So we're kind of done with the main talking points. So this is a part of this that I'm going to call due diligence.
Okay.
And due diligence in a real estate contract is where you do your inspections, you look at all your insurances and things like that, and kind of find out everything there is to know about a house. So I've put together 5 questions that are lighthearted, loose kind of questions that I think would tell us a lot about the people who I'm talking with. So, rapid fire style. If you were going to go to lunch with anyone from history, who would you take to lunch and where would you take them?
Man. I'm going to say Martin Luther King Jr.
Okay.
Man, the passion that he lived his life with, and the conviction, you know, and the bravery that he showed, and the courage in the face of all the adversity, is just something that always inspired me. And the way that love motivated him through hate, you know, and the way that he was able to lead and bring people together because of his courage, through tough times is something that I've just always admired. And I think he was a man of deep faith, and I think that's where his courage and his conviction came from.
Yeah, that's awesome. So where are you taking them? If you're going, and it doesn't have to be Central. It can be Baton Rouge. It could be if you've been somewhere in, Alabama.
Let's just say Florida Lee Pizza was still open, over on Government Street. I just love Florida Lee Pizza. So, and now that it's closed, it breaks my heart. So, let's throw that out there.
That's where you're going, yeah. I mean, it's a hypothetical. It could be anywhere. If we were going to do a movie about your life, who would you cast to play yourself in that movie?
Golly, I've had some Christian Bale comparisons in my day, so I guess it'd be Christian Bale. And I like most of his movies.
I got you. All right. If you had to pick one song that would be on repeat, it's the only song you listen to for the rest of your life, what do you think that would be?
Man, gosh. Garth Brooks, the Cowboy song, is a song that really always stuck out to me. It's not one of his better known songs, but the line that I love in that song is, he's just chasing what he really loves and what's burning in his soul, wishing to God that he'd been born 100 years ago. And that line just always stuck out to me. So
I love it. All right, if you're going to be, if tomorrow somebody's going to drop you on a stranded island, you can bring 3 things. What are they?
Goodness gracious. My Bible.
All right.
Picture of my wife and kids, assuming they're not with me.
Yeah.
And I guess I need some type of knife or something to kill some things to be able to survive with, right?
Okay, yeah. Some
machete, like a machete.
That's a good,
yeah.
All right. And so there's a few overlap, but Dr. Fountain answered this in a way that I didn't expect, so I wanted to get your opinion on it as well. In hand-to-hand combat with no weapons, would you rather fight 1 horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? So one huge duck or 100 little horses.
Man, I'm leaning towards the bunch of little horses. I just feel like stamina's always been something. Like I'm not like exceptional at anything, but I feel like I'm tough enough to outlast a lot of things.
Right.
So I feel like if I can just stay in the fight long enough, eventually I'm going to win.
So that's where I would go, because I know ducks are just mean little creatures.
Yeah.
And so a big duck is intimidating to me.
Sure.
But he said that he would rather fight the 1 duck because he was like, once you get overrun, it's over. You get on the ground, it's done for. So that's so it's 1-1 on that question. I think we're going to keep that question around.
I like that one
because that one's controversial at best.
Sure.
But look, I really do appreciate you, inviting me to this amazing school, and sitting down with me and talking with me. We will be back.
Great.
When the weight room gets finished up, we're going to get together and we're gonna put that out for everybody. So
do that, man. Well, when you reached out to me, I was like, man, I just feel like everything we got going on good here is a story that has got to be told. And I feel like we're just scratching the tip of the iceberg in terms of all the good things that are going on throughout all the athletic programs, and just the quality instruction that's going on in the classrooms, and the type of people that we got around here. But I'm so excited about the trajectory of this whole school system, and fired up to just continue to see it on the rise.
Yeah, it's awesome. So with that, go Wildcats.
Go Wildcats.
We'll be around and be in touch.
Thank you, man.
All right, cool. Thank you.